This is like the third take I've done. I spent the last 30 minutes failing while recording an episode of this. And man, did it piss me off. Well, anyways, recap. Basically what I've done to this car is I've given it a new turbo, done some weight reduction, given it upgraded transmission, clutch, and flywheel, sports edition. I put a semi-racing exhaust on here. Now it should be good to go for this front-rear challenge, which is what I'm racing in right now, and what I failed on before. So, yep, let's hope it goes better this time. Oh, jumping into a crash right at the start there because I came out of pause and didn't know what I was doing in relation to the race. That sucks. We gotta get up there before he gets too far up first, you know. This turbo is helping a lot. This car's a lot more powerful than you probably remember it. But that was in episode 1 the last time we used this car. This music is probably gonna get me copyrighted, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Otherwise, they're gonna make me cut out fucking half of the entire video just to get rid of some song that nobody really probably even listens to anymore. And it looks like we're gonna take this first spot pretty easily here. I swear, like, the last race I did, there was this really OP car in first. I won't be keeping first for long if I'm doing that. Wasn't paying attention. But anyways, the last race I did, there was a really OP car in first, and I could not pass him. Even with this turbo on the car. Sometimes the game just gives you really fast cars to race against, and you get unlucky with them. Oh, my headset cord is... That's why I didn't shift there, because I was too worried about that. At least this game doesn't have car destruction. When we start playing new Gran Turismos, which I might, if they put them out on PC ever. But, I'll tell you what. It's a good thing this game doesn't have car damage, because otherwise this thing would be a piece of paper right now, and I'd be paying a lot of money to fix it. That was a mess up. I know Gran Turismo 5 had car damage. And I remember the first thing I did when I bought the game was play around a little bit with that. First thing I actually did when I bought the game was have an update break the game over and over again, and the game wouldn't load worth a damn. I don't know, there might have been something wrong with the disc, or maybe the game itself, because I did get it pretty near launch. But Gran Turismo 5 was a pretty subpar Gran Turismo game anyways, at least in my opinion. Not enough... I don't know, it's just, this is my favorite Gran Turismo game. I'm sure I've already said that before. But this really is my favorite Gran Turismo game. And it's my favorite for a reason. Cars might not sound the best, there might not be any car damage, but not only is it really nostalgic for me, it's also just fun to play overall in general. You could take a Toyota 11 GT Apex and you can either race the shit out of it with some nice rims and spoilers, or you can drop a big old turbo in there and watch it go fast and smoke Porsches. And I think that's pretty nice. This game was pretty ahead of its time, and it is a pretty realistic driving simulator too. Now, I'm pretty sure BeamNG and games like that are much more realistic, but for its time, this was the shit. I played Gran Turismo 2 and 1, 5, 6, I haven't played 7 because I heard it was bad. Sport is awful. And you know, the only Gran Turismo game that I really haven't played other than 7 and GT Sport has been GT3, because I lost the disc for my PlayStation 2. Which, if I had with me right now, I would be playing on, and that'd be great, but it would require me to buy a capture card. Probably like a shit ton of adapters. That would be rather unfortunate. So I'm just playing it on an emulator because simplicity, and I know my computer can run this game. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could slap this game on a HP laptop from 7 years ago and it would run. One thing you cannot do is put this game on a 3DS and expect it to run for some reason. PCSX2 is honestly the best emulator for PlayStation 2 out there. I wonder what it would be like to play this game with a keyboard. Most probably impossible. But I mean, with the right amount of foonery and workarounds, I'm sure it would be possible. Jesus, man. Trying to run me off the road. But I'm sure with the right amount of, workarounds, it'd be possible. It would just be very painful to drive cars this fast in a game with only binary steering controls, like left and right, and no intermediate like you get on a controller, which is why controllers or racing wheels are somewhat essential to owning a racing game. And if you buy a racing game, play it with a keyboard, you'll eventually end up wanting a controller or wheel to play it with. Ever try to drift with a front-wheel drive car? Don't do it. It doesn't even work well in Gran Turismo. And I'm sure it won't work well in real life. I'm sure it might, and I mean, it's a hard maybe, work in real life. But it wouldn't be a perfect drift, and it definitely wouldn't be effective as it could be. I want to say something about my controller not doing a lot of cutting out. I feel like I might jinx it then. Yeah, once I go around a track a couple of times, I can kind of just drive it without paying attention. We're so far ahead of first, we could probably crash right now. It wouldn't be a problem, but once I start driving a track, I generally get a feel for it. And I could just sort of autopilot it. One thing I wish I could do in this game is remap controls. Make it so I don't have to put the car pedal to the metal all the time. I know you can do it with the right joystick, but honestly, that's too much of a control change, and I've been playing like with the X and square buttons my whole life, so it's kind of... I cannot really change it over because, first of all, it's weird. My controller grip has to change and everything, so... I just wish I could assign throttle and brake to right and left analog triggers. That'd be nice. And maybe gear up and down to R1 and L1. That'd be cool. Okay, we're not going to watch the replay. I did a neat thing where I altered the resolution of the game to fit the screen a little bit better. Hopefully that comes out nicely in post. Because there's no way I can re-record this. Because once I do this race, I can do it again, but I'd just be doing it for 2 prize cars, and then I honestly don't feel like doing this twice anyways. Because these races do take a while. Let me know if you guys want to see me stream this on probably YouTube, because I don't feel like most of my audience really uses Twitch. And, you know, I'd like to keep everything central, but if you guys do want me to start a Twitch channel, I can do that. In fact, I already have a Twitch channel set up, I just don't ever stream. Well, I take that back, I have a Twitch account that I use to watch Twitch videos, like Twitch streams and stuff, but I've really never streamed on Twitch before. Shit, I downshifted way too early there. What kind of car is this I'm racing against? It looks a lot similar, real similar to mine. I lost so much speed there. Now I'm in third. We gotta accelerate our way out of that. Boom. Running this guy into a wall because screw him. He's probably gonna give me payback though in a minute. That was pretty good. Looks like we took the first place spot pretty easy. But it does look looks like they're gaining on me right now. I'm sure once I get to these corners I will out-corner them just in pretty much every capacity. There goes me over-revving the shit out of this car engine. Like I said, if this game were realistic, this car would have 3 pistons that were not in the engine. He tried to run me off the road. Run me into a wall, I mean. I mean, this isn't as easy as the other race. It's definitely got more challenge to it. You know, I'd like to turn off the traction control, because I feel like I might do better. Sometimes the traction control can keep you from, well, obviously oversteering the car, but sometimes you need to oversteer the car to put it into a slide, so you can slide around corners and stuff. Instead, the game kind of just limits your engine power, so you can't take off like you would be able to normally. Which I guess is effective in some way, but I would honestly rather put my real driving skills to the test. Although it would probably be a lot easier to spin out. Well, I'm pretty confident it would be, so. Yeah, because going around corners like this, the game doesn't let your wheels spin. It takes away wheel spin completely by just limiting the engine's capability. Anyways, we're coming up on the end of this race here. And that was pretty interesting. We're up against, yeah, I thought it looked kind of like mine, except it's just slightly newer. Let's skip this. Already making back all that money I just spent tuning the car. And I think we'll win a championship prize in cash and a championship prize in the form of a car. Let me check how long we're running for here. Okay, we're about 15 minutes in. Yeah. Should be fine to finish this. So we're up against a BMW in first. Full throttle, huh? Yeah, sure. Apparently the car can't go over 37 in a second. tried to make it stuck on, you know, instead of get ready to drive, I thought maybe not pressing X would put it full throttle instead. And it did, but I was expecting it to kind of get rid of it maybe. Maybe it was just an issue with the get ready to drive text, but nope, it's still there. Instead of get ready to drive, it's full throttle though. And I guess it kind of fits because that's what we're going. Good God. These people they're trying to run me off the road. I have to be careful and cautious about how I drive just so these idiots don't run me off the road. And I don't understand how I'm just about as fast as them. Try to run me off the road now, buddy. Now that you're in the dirt. Or at least behind me. You know, sometimes it pisses me off because the full throttle gets in the way of me seeing the gear indicator. And I kind of need to see that to know which gear to go into. And it'd be nice to know what gear I need to go into to, you know, effectively round a corner, but apparently, you know, it's something I can't. I guess I should figure out for myself, because I just have to estimate. Sometimes it wants me to drop 2 gears, sometimes it wants me to drop 1. So I have to estimate how many gears it wants me to drop in order to get to the next corner. Like here it asked me to drop 2 gears. Sometimes it could ask you to drop 3. Guess who wouldn't know exactly how many gears they need to drop? Me, because that text covers it up. I wish you could, like, modify the sound of the vehicle in this game more than just what muffler you have on the car. I mean, not like... So you should be able to, like, have different mufflers you put on the car that produce different sounds. So if you want your car to sound loud, you can put a certain muffler on. I mean, I understand, and I think this is the case, that installing different types of exhausts will make your car sound different. I think that's the case. I'm not entirely sure. Like the difference between sports, semi-racing, and racing exhausts, I think they all make your car sound slightly different in a way. But I mean, like, a degree of more customization, because sometimes there's a car you have in the game that you just drive all the time. You really like the car. You know, sometimes you want to customize that car. And I feel like, you know, you already are stuck with what paint color you buy a car, and you cannot change the paint. So that means if you get a prize car, you're stuck with whatever color they give you, because they don't let you choose. They don't let you choose either, which kind of sucks, but it's not that big of a deal. It's one thing GT5 did right. Stuff like customization for cars. You could paint your rims too. I always thought that was kind of cool. When Gran Turismo 5 first came out, I was like amazed. I was like, wow, what a technological marvel. Real car damage? Now it's just kind of like, oh great, we got Grand Theft Auto 4 and BeamNG Drive. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 4 has better car damage than Gran Turismo 5 does, obviously. Well, actually not obviously. Gran Turismo 5 should have better car damage because it's a dedicated car driving simulator. Grand Theft Auto 4 is a game about crime, which just so happens to include cars and includes them well. So I feel like maybe that's one thing they could have done better. What I do like about Gran Turismo 5 though is it simulates engine failure if you screw up the car too much, which is nice. Not nice because you want your engine to fail, but it basically means if you go around crashing into walls and stuff and trying to cheat the game, that you're gonna eventually end up messing up your car pretty bad. Understandably so, because I remember crashing a car on GT5 and all of a sudden it doesn't steer right. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. Because, you know, it adds more difficulty to the game. Whereas in this game, I crash into a wall and I'm completely fine. I can keep on driving like nothing ever happened. So what that does is it allows me to crash into other cars, send them flying off the road, so I can gain an unfair advantage in a race, like this. Was that fair at all? No, but did it work? Sure did. I mean, he's behind me now, so it's definitely effective. It's definitely an effective way of trying to win a race. In any real race, you would destroy your car and get disqualified for doing that. But this is Gran Turismo 4. And as far as I know, crashing your car does nothing to it, so... I could have passed that guy legitimately, but it would have just taken more time. Time that I didn't want to spend trying to pass the guy. Another thing I wish you could do is fully customizable turbos. As in, this is when I want my turbo to engage. At this RPM, I will adjust the turbine, the compressor, and the wastegate for the amount of boost that I want. And I want it to engage at low or high or medium RPM. That's one thing I wish this game did more effectively. Because, you know, you could put a bunch of, you know, you could remove the rev limiter of a car, you can boost up the turbo pressure by a bunch, and eventually what you're going to end up doing is, on any car, if you push it hard enough, if you push it too hard, you're going to blow the engine. And that's just a given fact. Can't do that in Gran Turismo 4, unfortunately. And not to say that I want to blow engines up, I'm just saying, you know, some kid gets their hands on Gran Turismo 4, right? They get this turbo and they jack the shit out of the PSI, make it like a 32 PSI turbo. Get on the racetrack, and they over-rev the hell out of their engine immediately and blow it up. I think that would be pretty neat. Alright, time to see what car we win. I honestly forgot what we win here, and how much money we win if we win any. I don't think we do win any money besides what we got from those races. We won a car from 1967, a Skyline 2000 GT. No money whatsoever. You know, I'm thinking maybe just a little bit of money might have been slightly helpful. This car sells for 5K, weighs in at like 1,100 kilos. This thing weighs over 1,100 kilos. However, it is 285 horsepower as opposed to just over 100. Now, does this thing comply? I know that does. Does this comply with size restraints for a certain car? Nope, it doesn't. What kind of engine's in this anyways? V6? Yeah. What is in this? Now this thing qualifies. Yeah, this will definitely work for what I'm planning on using it for. But I just don't want to put that much money into a Lupo, man. I'm saving for something, and I really want to get it. Well, anyways, I think this is a good point in the episode. We're about 1.6 complete at this point. That's pretty neat. Let's track our game progress here. As you can see, I tanked the win-loss ratio there with all the fails I did. We have not done much B-spec miles yet. I did try that. Did not succeed, really. So, I have a ton of A-spec points, though. Maybe next episode I'll work on some more licenses. Anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Episode 4, I want to say. Yeah. 4, I think. And if it's not 4, it's 3. But I hope you can enjoy this episode. Hopefully next time we can either do some more racing or get the A licenses done. And on that note, I'm out.